Chapter 5.2 Identify and Predict. The identify and predict steps of the IPDE process begin with your thinking process for every situation you encounter. Objective. Explain what is meant to identify as it relates to the IPDE process. Identify. The first step of the IPDE process is identify. You must know when to look, where to look, how to look, and what to look for. The sooner you identify a possible hazard, the more time you will have to react safely. Clues you identify may cause you to change direction or speed, signal others, or perform any combination of the maneuvers. Objective. Identify the position of each of the 6 zones in the zone control system. Zones. The zone control system helps you make quick and accurate use of the IPDE process by setting a standard of what to identify and what to do when you find it. A zone is one of the 6 areas of space around a vehicle that is the width of a lane and extends as far as the driver can see. Zone locations. An open zone is space where you can drive without a restriction to your lane of sight or to your intended path of travel. Your line of sight is the distance you can see ahead in the direction you are looking. Your intended path of travel is the space your vehicle will occupy. Your path of travel is directed towards the target area. The target area in this section of highway where the target is located in the center of your intended path and the area to its right and left. Identify your target area in this target scene. A closed zone is a space not open to you because of a restriction in your line of sight or intended path of travel. The sooner you can identify a closed zone, the better chance you have to achieve control of any situation. Search range. In order to keep alert to the conditions of your zones, you need to evaluate 3 search ranges. A search range is a certain distance ahead of your vehicle. The first search range is the target area range, which is the space from your vehicle to the target area. Search this range to detect early any condition that might affect the intended path of travel. Search the 12 to 15 second range, which is a space you will travel in during the next 12 to 15 seconds. This range is where you need to identify changes in the lane of sight or path of travel. The 4 to 6 second range is the space you will travel in during the next 4 to 6 seconds. In this range, you need to get the final update of how you are controlling your intended path of travel. Identify the 8 steps of an orderly visual search pattern. An orderly vision search pattern is a process of searching critical areas in a regular sequence. To use an orderly visual search pattern, look for clues in and around your intended path of travel in a systematic manner. Where would you search in this scene? Okay, I do see one big thing, and that's the orange sign there. For an orderly search pattern, you should 1. Look ahead to the target area zone. 2. Evaluate your zones and search for possible changes in your line of sight, and path of travel. 3. Glance in the rear view mirror. 4. Evaluate your 4 to 6 second range. 5. Look ahead again to evaluate another 12 to 15 second range. 6. Change your 4 to 6 second range. 7. Glance in the rear view mirror. And 8. Check your speedometer and gauges. Repeat this pattern continuously as you move forward. Each look or glare should last only an instant. Be careful not to stare as you search. Avoid steering. Avoid staring. Beginner drivers sometimes fixate for several seconds on the same clue or events. They do not look far enough into the target areas and often drive with a swerve or jerky movement. Do not let yourself become a stare driver. Aspect of vision. Different driving environments and traffic situations present a variety of visual search patterns. As you gain experience, you will learn that what kind of clues and situations are most important to identify. The primary aspect of visual necessity for driving includes central vision, peripheral vision, and depth perception. The area you can see around you while you're looking straight ahead is your field of vision. Many of us can see an area about 90 degrees to each side. The area you can see clearly and sharply is seen with your central vision. This is a narrow cone of only up to about 10 degrees. Peripheral vision is the vision you can see to the left and right of your central vision. As the distance from central vision increases towards the outer edges of peripheral vision, the less clearly you can identify clues and events. Depth perception, or the ability to judge the relative distance of objects correctly, is especially important for driving. You must be able to judge distance correctly in order to pass and follow vehicles with judge stopping distance. Always look ahead 12 to 15 seconds into the target area as you drive. There are many restrictions to your line of sight, such as curves, hills, large vehicles, weather conditions, buildings, trees, dirty windshields. Scanning. Develop the art of scanning. Glance continuously and quickly throughout your orderly vision search patterns. Look and see as you scan. Do not stare at any one event or clue. Staring blocks out side vision, causes lack of attention, and tends to create high-risk driving habits. Selective seeing. Selective seeing means that you identify and select only those clues and events that restrict your line of sight, can change your intended path of travel. Develop the techniques of selecting seeing in your identification process. Look for open zones. Use your visual search pattern to look for specific driving-related clues that might cause an open zone to close. What clues do you have that the parked red car might pull out and close your zone? I see his wheels turned. Clues you search for change as you drive in different environments. When driving in cities, search for intersection, parked cars, pedestrians, other traffic. On open highways, search much further ahead for crosswalks, crossroads, slow-moving vehicles, and animals. When you drive on express lanes, speeds are higher and scanning all zones become even more critical. Regardless of your driving environment, you should always look for other roadway users. Roadways features changes of condition and traffic controls that may affect your intended path of travel. Look for other users. Watch for movements of other roadway users, especially in the areas that have shades or shadows. Watch for pedestrians and bicyclists. A large truck can restrict your line of sight and may prevent you from seeing another vehicle or other users. When other vehicles are approaching, use ground viewing to see where they are headed by checking the direction of their front wheels. Ground viewing is making quick glances to the roadway in front of your vehicle. Always be on the lookout for problem drivers. Can you identify any problem driver in this picture? How about the truck using both hands? Look for the roadway features and conditions. The roadway itself is an important area to watch. Identify early intersections, hills, curves. Be aware that the width of your lane might be reduced for road construction or other obstacles. An intersection is a high-risk area where the management of your path of travel needs consistent attention. Drivers need to look for many different possible conflicts in close traffic. What hazards could challenge a driver in this situation? Don't want to be living in a big city. Change from multi-lane to single-lane. Multi-lane roadways often narrow into single-lane roadways. Check your left front, right front, and rear zones before moving into the other lane. Change in width of lane. Standing water, patches of snow, potholes, or other objects in the roadway can narrow a lane. Identify the conditions early and then check your rear zone to see if there might be a problem if you need to stop. Roadway surfaces. A change in weather may cause dry roadway surfaces to get wet and slippery with rain, snow, or ice as you drive. A gravel surface can cause sliding or skidding just like a wet or slippery surface. Heavy rain can cause dangerous landslides. Roadway hazards. Good scanning habits will help you identify sudden actions or conflicts such as bicyclists, pedestrians, parked vehicles, animals, shopping center entrances and exits, roadside stands and restaurants. Be aware and search for other drivers who can appear from almost any location.